Infinity Plays back at it again with another awesome video. And today it's our last episode of Hell's Kitchen Murder Drones. It's episode 15, the final episode. The door opens. Oh boy, it's gonna be epic. The episode starts off with N and Uzi grabbing the final two. Woo! Yeah, they're both very excited to be the final two. You know. And Gordon Ramsay, when the next day comes in, Gordon Ramsay says, "Get your bags packed because we are flying to New York, where your final challenge awaits." You know, so they both said, "Okay." You know, they're excited, and says to Uzi, "You know, they're both pretty excited because they been in this competition for a long time and been in this competition for like about several, it's like 2 months now, and they're ready to see who wins." And then N says to Uzi, "May the best win." He says, "Yeah." They get to New York. You know, they have fun there, and then it's time for the final challenge. Challenge time! Cook a cold app, hot app, fish entree, beef entree, and a chicken entree for judges to score them out of 10. N. N's salad with shrimp got an 8. Uzi's beef tartare got the same, so they both start off with 8 for their cold appetizer. No, on to their hot appetizer. N's fettuccine alfredo was great and got a 9. Looking so good so far. Uzi's risotto with butternut squash got a 8, which put her below N. Not that good. And salmon got a solid 8. And Uzi's sea bass got a 10. Now they're both basically tied. N's New York strip with cherry wine sauce got a 10. Uzi's ribeye didn't do as well and got a 9. And finally, for the fish, beef, chicken entree, N's fried chicken got a 10. Uzi's grilled chicken got a 9. And by that, and got 45, and Uzi got 44. So N won by 1 point. And then, so N won, and he got the first pick. The returning chefs to be put onto their team for the final service. V, Thad, Jay, Con, Sin, Teacher, Braden, and Lizzie. On N's team, his first pick was V. Then Uzi's first pick was Thad. N's second pick was Jay. And then Uzi's second pick was Con. N's third pick was Braden. Uzi's third pick was Sin. N's fourth pick was Lizzie. And Uzi got left with Teacher. So, yeah. However, N needs to remind Jay about one thing for the final dinner service. Jay, I need you on your best behavior for this dinner service. Jay replied, "Whatever, loser." She really didn't care. N thought to himself, "I think I made a mistake picking Jay." Uzi said, "You think?" On N's menu, his appetizers were margarita pizza, wild mushroom risotto, scallops with goat cheese and pesto, and fettuccine alfredo. His entrees: New York strip with cherry wine sauce, fried chicken, poached salmon, herb crusted lamb, stuffed fillets, and seared halibut. Desserts were chocolate and banana souffle and a cherry tart. Uzi's menu asked for sushi, scallops with crab sauce, risotto with butternut squash, and a carbonara. Her entrees were ribeye, sea bass, pork chop, sea or plank salmon, lamb, and poached halibut. Her desserts were chocolate fondant with black cherries, and then a blueberry tart. Next up, the dinner service. N's team, apps was V, garnish was Lizzie, fish was Braden, and meat was Jay. On Uzi's team, apps was Sin, garnish was Teacher, fish was Thad, and meat was Con. Things got off to things immediately had a mistake in Uzi's kitchen as Sin overcooked her risotto. Sin, this risotto is baby food now. It was overcooked so much that it was mush. And then, however, all the appetizers went smoothly after that. No more problems on appetizers. However, when Uzi called out to Teacher, he didn't reply. Teacher, respond when I talk to you. Teacher really didn't care. And then in N's kitchen, Lizzie immediately made a mistake by setting up some watery garnish. Lizzie, I need a refire on this garnish. It's too watery. This was not going. She immediately made a mistake. Okay, and then in Uzi's kitchen, Khan made a mistake by setting up some dry pork. Dad, this pork is fucking dry. Uzi replied. There was mistakes were beginning to pile up quickly in her kitchen. However, she was able to score a couple tables. However, on N's second table of entrees is when the problems really start for him. As when Jay brought her lamb to the past, it was raw. Jay, this lamb is raw. And then she refired it only for it to still be raw. Jay, the lamb is still raw. I'll fix it, okay? Don't talk back to me. Don't backtalk me. Yeah. Jay was constantly getting restless. She was beginning to talk back. However, and then immediately she did fix her mistake, but immediately crashed on the next table. Jay, she sent up a raw New York strip. Jay, shut up. Jay, you know what? Get out right now. And kicked Jay out of the kitchen. She was just constantly messing everything up for him. He just couldn't handle her anymore. N then told V to manage to get on the meat station. V, take over the meat, please. V replied, "Yes, chef." Much better, thank you, chef. V had impressed N. However, some problems came more. There were some more problems in Uzi's kitchen. You're not talking again, teacher. After a couple of successful tables, no issues, the issues began to come back. You're not talking again, teacher. Yeah. Teacher wasn't listening to Uzi again. She did. And then when Colin brought his ribeye up to the pass, it was raw. Dad, ribeye's raw. This is again. Luckily, both N and Uzi catched all the mistakes the chefs made on their own. They didn't need Gordon Ramsay's help to point out to him these are mistakes. And at the rest of the night, there were no more issues. Both of you did really well as leaders during this final service of Hell's Kitchen. But only one can be the winner. So, head back to the dorms and wait until I decide the winner. They'd both done pretty well, but one had to come over them all. And once they were finally announced to Chef Ramsay's office, he spoke to them. And you have shown amazing growth. And tonight, in terms of leadership, on point. Uzi, also amazing growth. And probably one of the most consistent chefs ever. But there can only be one winner. Gordon Ramsay instructed them to place their hands on the door handle. One door for each person. Whose would open? Turn the door handle in 3, 2, 1. Winner was N. He won the season. At the start, I didn't think N was gonna go very far, but as the competition went on, he got better and better and better. He's got great consistency and great A quality leadership. I would wish good luck, but I don't think he'll need it. That was the end of Hell's Kitchen Murder Drones, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching this series. It means so much to me that you watched this all the way to the end. Thank you so much. You subscribe, comment, like, hit the notification bell so you notify my future videos. Without further ado, bye-bye!